Hi guys, Kirk and Jay here with Kirk, Giordano Plastering. Today what I'm going to show you guys is, this is an apartment building. Now, they have units above it. Obviously, some of their bathrooms failed, toilets, pipes, showers, things like that. We were here actually about 5 years ago, and you can see the patch. You see this patch right here? Goes right here. Follow the outline of my hammer. Actually, you shouldn't be able to see it, but I know any patch, even if I did it or anybody else did it. That's what I do for a living. That patch with this fine skip trowel finish came out pretty nice. In fact, when I was here yesterday, I said, damn, where'd my patch go? And I thought, oh, there it is. Anyway, I was telling the fella, you know you could put access doors in this. That would be the best case scenario, because this is the second time this has happened with another unit now. Anyway, they had a plumber come by and he just went gung-ho and broke all the stucco out. This is a perfect hole for us right here, because I don't have to do anything to it. I just have to mix some really rich mud. If it's too sandy, it just keep falling out. Really rich, extra cement, and it'll go through this rib lath and it will adhere by mushrooming on the top. Again, it's got to be really rich. I'll show you guys a technique if you're going to do this kind of stuff. Put some gloves on. This rib lath, like 3.4, 2.5, is sharp like razors. What they've got is all these holes I've got to do this to. So I'm going to first get my glove in here and pull this down a little bit, just like so. And that's why I got the corner of my hammer too, because this stuff is razor sharp. I don't want to go home today with blood all over my hands. So we pull this down a little bit, and we want it down in order to tie in the lath that we got to put back on top of this. Say for example, okay, that's down so-called far enough, and we're going to use tie wire and mesh. This is a 3.5 mesh. They got it different sizes. They got it dimpled. They got it V-shaped. This will work. And what we want to do is we just want to kind of get an outline of what we got here. It doesn't have to be pretty. It just has to squeeze in there. And I'll show you a little technique how we make it adhere in there. Okay, I'm just kind of eyeballing this, hoping stuff doesn't fall in my eyes. Okay, now that we got it kind of where we want it, let me find that odd pattern. Okay, we got it where we want it. There's two ways to do this. We could squeeze it in here. Even that is, we want it as tight as possible so we don't have to put too many furring nails in it. All right, guys, we take the tie wire and we bend it a little bit. We put our bend in it. We take our nippers and make a V where the bend is. See, right now I'm going to get it as tight as possible, but it's got to be almost at a point. If it's not at a point, it won't go through both of the meshes. Okay, we got somewhat of a point, and now I've got a longer end because I'm going to go through here and hope that when I pull back out, I catch both. Okay, I caught the top mesh and the bottom mesh, and now you just put a little bow here. That's what nippers are used for, or one of the uses. Now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to turn this right here, and that's going to attach it, both of these wires, and pull it up, make it, and then I just cut it right there. Now that's pretty firm in there, so when I go to plaster it, it won't wiggle free. Otherwise, like say these, if I don't tie it down, you'll go to plaster and the cement will push it up and it'll just go inside the stud bay and we'll lose it and have to redo it. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and plaster all these, or lath all these. Then when I go to plaster it, I'll show you how we do it, because we got to mix up some really stiff mud that's sticky. We call it rich mud. Otherwise, I can be here all day for one little patch. And if any of you guys watched what we do and you've tried to do over your head, you email me and say, Kirk, how come it won't stick? Too much sand, too much water. It's got to be real sticky, which Jay is an expert at mixing. So we get to that stage, I'll make it look easy because he'll mix my mud just the way it needs to be. Okay, guys, Jay mixed me up some super rich mud. Now with super rich mud, Hopefully it ain't gonna fall. Oh, there we go. That's what I'm talking about. It's not gonna fall in my face, which when you do enough soffits, you learn that it falls all over you unless it is really rich. And I was telling the fellow who called me, he says, how long will it take you to do, Kirk? And I said, maybe an hour, maybe 2, but that's working with Jay. A lot of you guys call me and say, man, you know what, I was doing a job. Oh, soffits always fall on you. I was doing a job and it took me 11 hours. I see you guys did it in half the time. Guys, one thing, if you're doing it by yourself, this would take me about 5 hours by myself. But since I got Jay and he knows how to mix and spread, and this is the whole key to this right here, guys, is mixing. If this mix isn't right, I could be here about 5 hours trying to get this to adhere. Now, that's what you need too. A truck like that doesn't have to be a big monster truck like that, but that truck, it's got everything on it. You know, for such a small job like this, we need scaffold. I need specifics like certain materials. You've got to have accelerators that when you apply this stuff, it sets immediately. Otherwise, I would highly recommend any homeowners trying this, just put a scratch coat on. And even that scratch coat could take a couple hours because as you're applying it, it's falling back in your face or you're pushing the wire up and the wire is coming off. This is what I consider a perfect mud. So what we do is we're going to let that set about 10 minutes. I'm going to scrape it like so, or too soft. Then I'm going to scrape it and I'm going to come back and texture it with the La Habra color coat finish. So when I'm done, it'll match this right here. If I use regular sand and cement, it'll be tough to match it. When I get to that stage, I'll show you. Okay, guys, Jay mixed me up a little color coat. Color coat comes in 3 grits. You got fine, medium, and coarse. Right now we're using a 20-30. Why a 20-30? Because that's what this texture was originally. And you just come here. I can see this patch is a little hollow, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and fill it. It happens to the best of us. Fill it up a little flush and then just put a texture right over it. Regardless of, the color is not going to show when it's painted. I mean, I could see right now where it looks like that's more of a blob, but it actually has a tiny bit of texture. And that's all we need, tiny bit of texture. Like so. We are actually doing a whole ceiling like this next week, the whole size of this, where we're going to do the scratch and the brown. So technically, we're getting a little practice. Always helps to keep doing this stuff over and over and over, guys. Use it or lose it. Even me, I stopped doing it for a certain thing for a month, then I find that, wow, you get kind of rusty. Anyway, there's those last 2 little bitty patches. Doesn't take much. And hopefully you don't fall off your own staging when you're doing this. Move this over a hair. Put this last bit of texture on this guy here. And we will call it a day. Anyhow, guys, you see how it's done. My name is Kirk. I'm with Kirk Giordano Plastering. Jason and I thank you for watching, and as usual, we'll see you guys on the next one.